Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup favourites video, which is very different to what I usually do on my channel, but yeah, that is today's video. So if you like the sound of that, do keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe, and I will get into the video now. I did put up on Instagram kind of like a what would you like to see in 2021 kind of thing, and I did have a few suggestions and this was actually one of them. So I am trying to vary my content a little bit. I don't just want it to be like haul after haul after haul, because I do feel like it gets a bit boring. So I would like to do some videos with some stuff I already own. So just before I get into it, if you do have any suggestions of what you would like to see, then definitely comment it down below and I will have a look through and add any more to my list that haven't already been said. I don't usually try a lot of makeup, and especially high-end makeup. I usually do go for like drugstore makeup. I've kind of found what works for me, I'd say, over the years, and I do just tend to go back to that. So that's what I've got to show you today. Yeah, only one of them is high-end. So I guess that's kind of good if you are on a budget as well. I've kind of picked one thing from each category, apart from eyeliner, and I've picked a few. I'll start with my favourite palette, because why not? I don't tend to branch out into eyeshadow that often. As you can see, I do usually wear white eyeshadow and that's it, because it blends quite easily, and I've just kind of always done that. I feel like because I wear quite a lot of heavy eyeliner, that the white eyeshadow and the white kind of like waterline part definitely like brightens up a lot. So the two eyeshadows that I would recommend, this is the first one, and this is like a single eyeshadow, and then the next one is a palette. So this is actually what I use every single day for the white eyeshadow on the top of my eyelids, not the actual waterline part, and it's the NYX Single Eyeshadow. I know there's not a lot of actual eyeshadow left because I have hit pan on this one, but this is the eyeshadow of what it looks like, and it is in the colour or name Whipped Cream. So this is the one that I really do recommend, and what I really like about this one and why I always go back to it is I have tried a lot of whites that are very not opaque, like they just kind of like wash over and make it a little bit brighter, but they're not like pure white. So I really like this one because it is opaque. I believe it's around £3, so very affordable. The only thing is you used to be able to get it at Boots, and when I went in there they don't do the single eyeshadows anymore, so you might have to order it online if yours is kind of the same. But yeah, so that's the eyeshadow that I really do recommend, and I've been using that one for years now. And the eyeshadow palette that I recommend is this one. So I mainly have Revolution palettes. As I said, I don't have too many because I just don't really use eyeshadow that much. So if I do want like a coloured look, you might have seen my red eyeshadow that I've kind of recorded in on this channel, and also like taken photos on Instagram if you're following me. If you're not, the link will be in the description, and I'll leave my name on the screen if you want to go and follow me on that. But sometimes I do branch out a little bit and do like bright orange eyeshadow just on the lid, and also red eyeshadow, and this is always the palette that I go back to if I want to do kind of a more colourful look. And this is the Revolution Pro palette, and it's called the Regeneration Trends Mischief Mattes. So that's the name of it. I will hold that up in case you want to screenshot it to see what it is called. I will have links to everything I can find in the description box below as well, and this is what it looks like. I will open it so you can actually see it without the glare. It does kind of look untouched, but the ones that I usually go back to is this one, which is Daydream. Halftime I use quite a lot. Ricochet is what I mix with that one to get like a deeper kind of cherry red. And I've also used Cursed, which looks kind of brown but it's actually a purple. And I've also used Poison and Believer, so mainly kind of the greens, the reds, the oranges, and some of these like darker purples. Haven't used the yellow. But that is the eyeshadow palette that I recommend. It's really pigmented, and if I remember correctly it was £8, so good price considering you get all of these shades. And as I said, you do get quite a lot of pigment with them too, so that's definitely an eyeshadow that I would recommend. I've talked about it on my Instagram stories as well. Moving on, I will go on to foundation. So I don't like trying out new foundation because if it's wrong, like there's nothing you can do about it. You can't give it back, you can't give it to anyone, like that's it, you're stuck and you have to throw it away, and I hate doing that. But I did get this from like this recommendation from my friend Laura, and she uses the Revolution matte base one, so I thought I'd give it a go, and it's actually the one that I'm wearing today and the one I always wear, and I really do like this foundation. It's £5, so again, very affordable. I know kind of this dewy shiny skin is like trendy at the moment, but because I have oily skin, like I do not want that look, and I really like the matte look, I always kind of have, so that's why I go for the matte foundation. This is called the Revolution Matte Base Pore Blurring Full Coverage Foundation, so that's the name of it there. And as you can see, it's in the shade F0.5. Now, for their other foundations, they have brought out like F0.01, which is a lighter version of this and more neutral or yellow toned. So I prefer neutral foundations. I hate like yellow foundations because they just don't match at all. This one is very, very pinky. So it definitely pulls like cool toned and pink. On camera, you wouldn't really guess, but definitely in person, if I'm wearing like grey eyeshadow, it does kind of clash. I'd prefer it if it was a bit more neutral, but I do still really like it, and when I put concealer over the top, like it really doesn't bother me that much. So I would recommend this one if you like really matte looks. Obviously if you don't, this isn't going to be for you, but yeah, this is the one that I always go back to, and I do have a backup in my drawer ready for when this one runs out. So that moves on nicely to concealer. Now I have tried out a few concealers, some of them pull a lot very yellow toned on me, like the lightest shade Porcelain is always yellow. The one that I really, really like, and I have actually ran out of this one now, it's got like a little bit left, which I keep scraping out. I do need to buy another one. But this is the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. I got this recommendation off of a YouTuber who likes dewy skin, so I don't think this is completely like matte. This works really nicely with this foundation. So I get mine in the shade 320, which is Porcelain. This is the lightest shade in the UK. The US might have lighter shades than this, but this is a very neutral concealer. It's what I use like under my eyes and on spots and things. It's not too brightening that it like highlights them, but it definitely does a good job in covering dark circles. That's what this one looks like. So that's the packaging on this one. Again, it's one that I always find myself going back to, so definitely one that I do recommend. Next, I'll go on to primer, and this is where it comes to like the high-end item. I don't use face primer. I do just use like my skincare, either some kind of like really light moisturizer or the ordinary like niacinamide stuff. But I do use eyeshadow primer because, as I said, I do have oily skin, so my eyelids do get oily, and I do notice a huge difference if I don't use this or if I use like a different one. So this is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I'm sure a lot of you know this one. This is a travel size because it's expensive. I believe this is around £12. So this is the packaging of this one. This one is so pretty. I really like the packaging on this, and it does have like a wand thing, which is really easy to just like put on your eyelids. It's what I did use today, and usually by the end of the day I see some creasing, but for the majority it does such a good job. And if you don't have oily eyelids, I'm sure this would work even better. I've only tried a few others and I found they haven't worked as well, so that's why I always do end up going back to this one, and I definitely say it's a favourite. Again, I have a backup in my drawer, so do really like this one. I forgot to mention with these two, this one is just like a squeeze one, so you do just have to squeeze it out of the actual tube. I'm so scared I'm going to drop this on my clothes. For the concealer, this one again is one of those like applicator ones, which some people don't like, but I really like because I can like literally put it right underneath my eyeliner, so that's why I really like this one too. Next up is a eyebrow recommendation, and this is the NYX Control Freak. Again, this is one I got from a beauty YouTuber, and I think this works so well. So I do have quite naturally dark eyebrows. I did recently dye them because my hair was recently dyed, so when I dye my hair I always dye my eyebrows. They have faded a bit to more like a brownie black, but I do put this through them just to keep them like in place. When they're not dyed, I use the the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel in black, which I do really like, but I wouldn't say it's like the best thing I've ever tried. It's just something I use to get a bit more like of a cooler tone on them. But this I would really highly recommend if you've got kind of full eyebrows and you just kind of want them to stay in place. So like especially the ones down here, if I brush my hair, like they'll brush down. So this really helps to keep them in place. I believe it's around £6. So again, most of the things I'm going to mention are under £10, and that's what this one looks like. This one looks like kind of a mascara, so it's got that kind of end to it. So you do just brush that through your eyebrows, and this is a clear gel, so it's not going to add any colour to it. It's just to keep them in place. The only thing I would say, if you add too much, they kind of go a bit crispy. So if you don't like that, maybe this isn't for you, but I do really like this product, and it's not the first one I've had of this. As I said, I have repurchased probably all of these. Next I will go on to mascara, and then I'll go on to eyeliner, because you're probably all here for the eyeliner, to be honest. But the mascara that I do really like, and I know a lot of people don't like Maybelline because I don't believe they're cruelty free, or they are cruelty free, but they're kind of either they sell in China or something. But this is the mascara that I really like, and this is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Lash Multiplying Mascara in Intense Black. They do have it in black, but I do get the intense black. I do naturally have eyelashes that do like curl up. I don't need to use one of those curler things, and they are naturally quite long, so this is more just to add like volume and to make them darker. As you can see, you can see them above my eyeliner, so I don't have to wear fake eyelashes, which I'm very thankful for. I cannot use fake eyelashes, it doesn't work. But I really do like this mascara. It lasts a really long time. I'm still using this, and I feel like I've had this forever. I do have a new one again in my backup collection. But I do really love this one. This one is £9, so a bit more pricey, but I usually alternate between this one and like a Rimmel London one, but I just find myself like liking this one a bit more. So that's the mascara that I use every single day. That's what that one looks like. It's got a slight curve to it, as you can see. But just in case you were curious, that is what that one looks like. And now we will get on to the eyeliner, which, as I said, you're probably all here for. As I mentioned in my previous makeup tutorial thing, which is quite a long time ago, I am thinking of doing an updated one. I do use quite a lot of eyeliners, and that's why I have quite a lot in this category. One of them is quite new, that I've only used twice, but I am really impressed so far, so I did want to give that a mention. But the first one that I will go through is the eyeliner that I used to get this white area. I do use this on my waterline, but then I do bring it down and into the corner, which is why it's like a bigger area. And the one that I always use is the NYX one, and this is called it's got quite a long name, the NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On Eyeliner. It does have more words to it, but I think the actual title of it is the Slide On Glide On Eyeliner Pencil, and this is in the shade Pure White, and this is like a kohl pencil rather than like a proper pencil, and that's what it looks like. So it is one of these that you can sharpen. So that's what I use every time to get this really like white area. I have used other ones like the Rimmel London one and things like that, but they don't go on like as, you know, like bright white as this one does, and it does stay like that throughout the day, which is really impressive. It does come off the waterline a little bit. I really do like this one, and other ones I tried didn't even stay like under my eye, so that's why I always do go back to the next one. And now onto the black eyeliners. So I've got 4 here. 3 of them are liquid and 1 of them is a kohl pencil, so I'll go through the kohl pencil first, and this is what I use to get this really thick line down here. So I do start with this one, and this is the Maybelline Tattoo Liner Gel Pencil. So this is a gel pencil, and again, it's one of these ones that you can sharpen. So that's what this one looks like. I used to just use liquid liner down there, but I was having to build up so many layers. So this is like the perfect thickness just to kind of put one line and then like neaten it up with liquid liner, if that makes sense. So this is kind of the base of that underline line that I draw. So I do always go back to that one as well. And now for the liquid eyeliners. I don't like the ones that come in a pot. I don't like those ones. I never really got along with those. So I always go back to the kind of pen style eyeliners, and that's what I get on with the most. So the main one that I have gone back to for years, I actually found a photo of when I first started out doing makeup, and this was actually in it. So I've gone back to this probably for like 6 or 7 years maybe, and this is the Rimmel London Scandalwise Precision Micro Eyeliner. So this is the one I always go back to, and this is what the packaging looks like for this one. And I do get it in the precision one because they do have ones that have different like ends to them. Some of them are flat, some of them are more chunky, but this one is a very, very fine tip to it, so you can get a really nice clean line. It does look a little bit bulky on the end because this one is actually quite old. I do have a backup in the drawer, but this one I generally use to get like the line down there, and also to again neaten things up a little bit more. Sometimes I do find if you use this one in like the inner corner, it can bleed a little bit when it's brand new, so I would be wary of that. But again, it's one I always go back to. It's perfect for doing the wing and also to get that kind of line down there, because if you use something watery for that line, like it's just going to go everywhere. So that's why I mainly use this one. And I find that eyeliner pens are good at different times as well. Like when you first use them, they're very like inky, so maybe you don't want to put it in that area, but as they like get older and you use them more, they're kind of good for different things. This one was actually one of my favorites, and I can't find it in the UK anymore in stores, and I actually got this one in America. So this is the NYX Super Skinny Eye Marker, and it's very, very similar, if not the same. This one is sharper because it is newer. So that's what this one looks like, and this is a felt tip liner just like the Rimmel London one. It's in the shade Carbon Black, so that is what this one looks like. I mean, kind of same packaging, same kind of style, so I'm not surprised. I do like these two, but when I went into Boots, again, they just don't have it anywhere. I used to be a huge fan of the, is it Epic Ink Liner? Or am I making that up? It's from NYX, and I think it's their most popular eyeliner, but I tried that out a few months ago and it bled everywhere, so I don't know if they've changed it. From what I've heard beauty YouTubers say, that they've changed the formula or something, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. And the final eyeliner I recommend is the Revolution eyeliner. Now, I'd say I've only used this twice, so from what I've used, I would recommend it because I have been quite impressed, but you know, I probably wouldn't recommend this one as much as the other ones just because I haven't tried it for as long. So this one I actually used today on the inner corner, the eyelid, I guess, and also for neatening up this area. I did use my other one to do the end of the wing just because it's sharper, and I find this one is a little bit more chubby. A lot of people like this one because of the gold packaging. It's not really my style, but it is like really comfortable to hold because it is quite thick there. Now this is one of those eyeliners that's got like kind of bristles to it rather than a felt tip liner, if that makes sense. So this is what this one looks like. I used this one the other day and straight away it looked very, very black, also almost shiny, so I was a bit concerned. I was like, oh my gosh, is it not drying down? But actually it does take a lot longer to dry down than the other two that I have just showed you, but it could be because this is brand new. But it dries kind of like shiny, like I don't know, you probably won't be able to see, but it's almost like a shiny black, which is very different to my other two. But straight away it didn't really bleed in those areas. The only thing I would say is when I put it on the top line, you have to let it dry, because I like looked down and up and it did kind of transfer on there a bit, but that was because I hadn't let it dry enough. So I did apply this to the bottom line and I did look down and it did kind of smudge a little bit below, but again that's because I didn't let it dry and it didn't do the same on the other eye. So From what I can tell, I'm really impressed with this so far. A lot of people are, to be honest. So I did use this for the majority of my makeup today, and I have, as I said, been really impressed with it. So I will carry on trying this out. Next, I will go on to makeup brushes. So I will go through this quickly because you might not be too interested in this, but I did want to give them a mention. And I use the e.l.f. makeup brushes. They're very affordable and they work really well. So for my foundation and concealer, I use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, and that's what this one looks like. Really good at blending in makeup. And then for powder, I use the e.l.f. powder brush, and that looks like this one, very flat. And then the other brush that I use every day to actually blend in the white eyeshadow is the e.l.f. blending eye brush. I don't know if they've redone this one, but this is like one of their $1 brushes, and that's what this one looks like. It's not like one of those fluffy brushes, but I find it's really good for just kind of blending in the crease to kind of blend the colour. And I think the last things I will mention are lipstick. You might have noticed that I haven't talked about a few categories. Powder, my favourite is the e.l.f. mattifying powder. I'll put a photo on the screen of the one that I really like. I don't have it at the moment. I'm trying out a Rimmel London one, and it works to begin with, but it's very easily to kind of over powder your face, and at the end my face is shiny, so I'm not really liking that one, but I am just kind of using it up. So that's the one that I really like on the screen, the e.l.f. one. In terms of blush, contour and bronzer, I don't use them. You'll probably be able to see like there's no like contouring or blush added to my face, so I've never really used them. I feel like my eyeliner takes enough time without sitting there trying to blend all this stuff into my skin, so I don't use those, which is why I don't have favourites for them. But the last three things are lipstick. One of them will not be a surprise, but I've got two from Maybelline that I love and one from Baby Back Beauty, so I'll go through this one first. This is the Baby Back Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Bonfire, babe. I've talked about this one quite a lot on my Instagram, and this is my favourite shade for autumn. It's one I always go back to like year after year, and the packaging of this is really cute. So it's got the bats there with the pink lid. It's just really cute packaging. I find this one stays on really well when eating. It doesn't stay on as well as the Maybelline ones, but I do find this is very close like competitor for that. The only thing I would say is you do have to shake it because it can separate, and the only thing is it can kind of like bleed a little bit past your lips. I haven't found it happen so much with this one, but for the deep green one that I own, it sometimes does. But I really love this shade, really recommend it, and it's such a nice colour for autumn if you're kind of near my skin tone. So yeah, that's the one from Baby Back Beauty, and these two are my ultimate favourite lipsticks like in the world. This is the one I'm wearing. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink liquid lipstick in the shade Huntress. This is the American one, which is why the size is like huge, because they get the bigger lipsticks for a cheap price for some reason. But this is the shade I always go back to. I absolutely love it. It's kind of perfect when you want something neutral but you don't want to wear black, because like for this outfit I'm wearing all black apart from this stripy top that keeps wanting to show. I love this colour so much. I've actually gone through a tube of it, which is very rare. I don't really finish lipsticks. But I do also have a backup that was bought for me from my Amazon wishlist, which was very sweet. I still don't know who got me that one because there was no note. But yeah, so I do have a backup of that one. But this is the packaging of what this one looks like. Okay, so that's what the Huntress shade looks like, and I'll show you the next one while I've got my camera focusing. And this is in the shade Voyager, and it's this really pretty deep red. So for Huntress, this is the shade of it, as you can see, and it does have one of those really pointy applicators, as you can hopefully see. I really like the Arrow applicator because it's really easy to apply and you can really get in like the corners of your mouth. And the last one is the same brand, but it's in Voyager, and this is the red that I'm always wearing in either my red outfits on Instagram, or I've worn this in quite a lot of videos recently. This is the one that I always wear. Very comfortable. As you can see, it doesn't look matte, it actually looks quite shiny, but like it's not, like it doesn't come off like at all, which I love. And also I can eat in these and I don't have a problem. I was wearing this one for Christmas Day actually, and I ate all my Christmas dinner and had like cheesecake and stuff, and this was still on. Like, it's just incredible. So those are definitely my lipstick favorites. So that was definitely a longer video than I had planned. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's something a little bit different. Maybe it won't be for everyone. Do let me know if you enjoyed this video. Would you like to see any other favorites? So as I said at the beginning of this video, if you have any more recommendations for videos you would like to see, then do comment them down below and I will have a look. But do give it a like if you did enjoy it, as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And also don't forget to comment down below, do these match up with your favorites? Do you have any recommendations for me that I should try? Do let me know. Don't forget to press the notification bell so you can be notified when I do upload. And as I said at the beginning, please do subscribe if you like these types of videos, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye.